Hi, it's Susan. Welcome to Hello Susan YouTube channel. I'm going to start off my channel with a sewing theme journal. I'll be using my digitals, vintage sewing and vintage buttons. I'll have a link in the description box below for you to find them if you'd like to make one too. So first of all, we're going to go through the pages of the kits. This is vintage sewing. It's got very bright colors, very feminine, very cottagey, lots of flowers, birds, butterflies, and sewing. Lots of sentiments about sewing. I love that sewing machine. Lots of places for journaling. This would be a great center for the center of your signature. All right, this is upside down because this next page is project supplies and notes. But the way to utilize it the best is to print two, and then when you put them in your journal, you put them face to face. So then they show up like this in your journal. Isn't it pretty? This is embroidered, replica of it. It's of course not real embroidery. This is a background page, so you can make pockets, envelopes, tags, whatever you like. This is a tea stain page that goes with the kit for you to put on the backs of all your journal pages. This is a strawberry pin cushion. It's a step-by-step how to make one of these little strawberries, and we are going to make one together in another video. Now here we get to the ephemera part. These you cut out and fold in half, and then when you fold them in half they become trim holders or thread holders, or even just little journal cards. And here's a needle book, and we're going to make that needle book today. Tags. More journal cards and tags. Well, that's that same page, so I'm not too sure why that's there. Okay, now this is vintage buttons. It's an add-on kit, and I thought about this after I had made the first kit. So it's got lots of buttons in it. The color scheme is all the same, so it blends very well. Journal page. And then these are button cards, and I actually did design them with buttons, but then I did exactly the same cards and left them blank so that you could create whatever you like. And then here's some larger ones and some buttons to use as your ephemera. Isn't that cute? I just love it. Alright, we're going to put this over here for right now. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make the little needle book. Now I've prepared some of it so that it doesn't take us so long to have to do it, but all my little pieces are here. Now here's the needle book. It's got the front and the back, and then the inside is blank. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and, let's go ahead and round the corners. What's the first thing I want to do? Okay. And now we're going to ink. And I use Vintage Photo as an ink. I like that color, and I think it just adds it and just puts that little touch of vintage to it very quickly. And we'll do the center too. Okay, now let's do the outside. So I started journaling about 4 years ago. And 3 years ago, I started designing digitals. And now I'm doing the YouTube. I just found that I wanted a way to create with my digitals and share them. I have been sharing them with Edith on Scrapbooking with Me, and also Gail of Gail Augustinelli. They've been very generous to show my digitals all this time. Okay, so that's done. So the goal of my channel is to create a community together that everyone can share, inspire each other, and we create together. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to glue this little net. Oh, here, let me show you. I have one already made up, so you can see exactly where we're going. That's the cover, that's the back, and then this is the inside. Isn't that so cute? Just a little space for in your journal. Okay, let me set that down. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put this net. It's got a little bit of gold in it, and we're going to put that on this side. Let me make sure I've got this the right side up. Put this in front of me so I can see exactly what I'm doing. Okay. So I use Fabri-Tac. That's my favorite glue. And you don't want to put a heavy hand of it because it is a net, but you need to stick it down. Okay. And when I cut this net, I didn't do it a perfect square. I left the edges to where it looks a little bit ragged. Gives it more of a vintage look. Okay, now I have this piece of felt already cut out that's for this side. So what we're going to do is we're going to pink the edges. Just the very, very edge there. And all I did was just measure the page here. I'm not going to do the top because we're going to cover that with some lace. Whoops. Okay. Okay. So now I'm going to glue this in place on this side. And I'm not going to glue the whole thing, just the top. Okay. Now I've got some pink lace over here for the trim. We're going to do it down this side right here, and we're going to do it across the top right there. Okay. I'll go ahead and do this one at the same time. This one. Already that's cute, isn't it? Okay. Alright, so now I've got some net here that I want to put right here. Let me look at this. Yeah, it's on top of that pink. So this is just going to go right here. And then I've got this little group of flowers with a little bird. that's going to go right there like that. So let's put a little glue. Stick that down. And now let's put some glue on this. Okay, center that up. And get this little spatula thing I have. That glue sometimes just makes a mess on your hands. Not on your project, but on your hands. Okay, so that glues the whole flower down there now. Okay. Now we're going to put this little girl. Now I've already inked this little girl, so I didn't have to do that together. But see, by leaving this up, you can set that little hand underneath there. And that's about where we want to put her. And we want to put this little scallop right down here. You know, I think I'm going to put that all the way across this way. And that's been inked already too. Let's put this down first. That way we can judge exactly where to put the little girl. She is so cute. Okay, we're going to put glue on the back of her now. All right, flip it over. We want it about like that. Okay, you look at it, make sure it's straight. Okay, it is. Just keep meshing on it so it'll stick through that net. Okay, now I've got these words, courage, dear heart, to put on here. So let's do the heart first because it goes to the bottom. And it goes about right here. Let me lift it up so I can see, yeah, it's straight. Okay, and let's do courage next. And this is going to go up just a little bit on the dress. There. And lift it up, make sure that's straight. There we go. And now, deer. And we'll center that between the two. Okay, and lift it up, make sure. It doesn't have to be perfect because I didn't even cut them out perfect. But just the best that we can do. Okay, now I've got a couple of little butterflies that I cut out. Believe me, I do not love cutting out itty bitty things. I like medium-sized things or large things, but this really is going to make this look cute. So let's put that little butterfly right there. And the next thing we need to do is we need to ink up some of this a little bit. So we already did the paper, but now we want to do the felt. And that's just going to give it that little vintage, aged look. And by not gluing down the felt, It also gives you a place to journal or put notes about a sewing or whatever you want to do right underneath there. Okay, let's go ahead and put some on the lace. Not too much left to do there. Okay, so now we get to add the needles and pins and things. So I've got a couple of needles here that I want to put in. It's a big needle. Okay. And I've got one more needle here I want to put in there. And we'll just stagger that just a little bit. Isn't that cute? Okay, let's put the straight pins in. Now that we know where they can go. Now you don't have to do yours exactly like mine. This is just what I came up with. Do whatever you want to do. I'm trying to line up the holes with this so that it looks symmetrical. Let me see what that looks like. Nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. Let's do it again. There we go. That's good. I think I'm going to do that top one again. Okay, and now we're going to put in the little safety pins. Let's see, are they all the same size? I think they are. Nope, one is a little bitty. Okay. Well, there we go. Got it. Let's put the tiniest one on the inside. Okay. Is that straight? Not really. I'll see if I can adjust it in a second. Okay. Now let's see what I need to do to make it look more symmetrical. I think I need to move the top one. Okay. Now, let me just pull on the felt just a little bit. Straighten it out. And we are done. Isn't that cute? Okay. Let me get my bone folder. Press it down just a little bit so it'll stay closed better. It will stay closed. You can just set it under a heavy book or something, but it will stay closed. Okay, well, thanks so much for joining me today and doing this creation. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.